Okay, this is my video summary of the first video, which I believe was titled A Problem Worth Solving. I had three main takeaways from this video. Um, there was so much information and a lot of really important points, but one of the first three is a quote, you can't solve problems for someone whose problem is that they don't want problem solved. Um, this was one that I really thought stood out to me because I never really thought about this. Um, I never really thought about people not wanting a problem solved, I guess. So it was kind of I had to like reflect, and it is really true. Some people um, don't want a certain problem solved, and they're okay with just dealing with it, and it's not something that's very important to them. Um, so I thought that was really like important. The next one was the problem people have could be interpreted very different by so many different people, which is why it's so important to have very diverse thoughts and people to come up with something really great, because the more opinions you have, the very different perspectives and everybody's different paths in lives, and um, that all can play a big role in how your finished product turns out to be. um, and then spending more time solving the problem instead of like how it's actually going to get fixed. um, Doing more like groundwork before you actually touch code, which is a very obvious thing, but I I have done this so many times where I begin a project and I don't know like really how to do it once I try to code it. So it is very like duh moment, but it is something that people have to like step back and think about. Um, so what's something you or people constantly get frustrated with that you think an app could solve? So the pitch that I was gonna give in class was a problem that I constantly have is I have a very sensitive skin. It gets really easily irritated, um, and I want to create an app that could scan cosmetics. This is like the short version. Scan cosmetics and tell me if it's safe for me to use on my skin. Um, Knowing what irritates my skin, knowing what ingredients irritate that type of like allergic reaction. If I can scan something quickly instead of reading through the ingredients, because I've had to read through ingredients and everything I purchase that I put on my skin, I have to read first, because if not, I can get severe reactions. This is a problem I think more than one person has, maybe not people like immediate in my immediate circle, but going online and just like seeing how many people suffer from like various different skin conditions, like acne, rosacea, eczema, so many different things, so many allergens, and I think people do want this problem solved. The beauty industry has tried to come out with clean products, quote unquote, um, but sometimes they don't succeed and sometimes they're not very truthful. So it's really in the ingredients that tell you if a product is clean, and sometimes you can't trust a label anymore. So, yeah, that was my app idea. Uh, this problem needs to be solved so that people like me and people out there that I read have common ground with on the internet um, don't have to read through ingredients every time we purchase something. I love makeup, I love beauty products, and I want to not have to read my ingredients every single time I buy something, um, to see if it causes an allergy or if it's going to irritate my skin. An example of an app that is solving a real problem, one I can think of the top of my head is Maps app. People need to know how to get places. Now that there's, especially in big cities, you can't memorize every street or every location. So I think Maps, Google or whatever, Apple Maps solves a real problem. People need directions and it makes it easier for people to get to their destinations. An example of an app that does not appear to solve a real problem, I would say, is like a photo app that you can download on your phone. That like has different cute filters or whatever. It doesn't actually serve or solve a real problem. It's just someone who wants to spruce up their photos, making them look prettier. That's not really a problem that a lot of people have. There's so many different apps that do this. It's almost overwhelming now. Um, yeah, so I hope that was like under 2 to 4 minutes, but that's my review of the first video.